what I'm going to talk about is the StoryMap competition that Esri offers each year. And I'll talk about it from how it's run from a state level organization, state level perspective, as well as if you are a middle or high school student teacher, that there see about ways that you might want to get involved. New York State, and the way it's the state competitions, excuse me, the Esri competition is run is that each state runs a competition within their state with middle and high school students. And the state is responsible again for the organization. At each state, they then select the winners, one for a middle school student and one for a high school student, and then these are submitted to the national level, and then Esri at the national level selects the winner for the entire country. And then there's a prize. It was before COVID going to their annual conference. I'm not sure right off the top of my head what they're doing now within the COVID realm. So New York State has been doing this for, we've done 3 years. We're going to be starting into our 4th year. So I'm going to show some of it when I go through what we've been doing, and I'll show you the website, the story map that we've made for information about the state or the mapping competition for New York. I'll explain some of the lessons learned or things that we still need to improve upon. It's a work in progress. Our first year, we didn't get any student submissions. The second year, we got 5 middle school submissions. Last year, our 3rd year, we got about 25 submissions, both at high school and middle school. And I'm proud to say that the national winner for the high school was from New York, Bronx School, and and not the winner, but the runner-up for the middle school was also from New York. So way to go! You know, we've made great progress in 3 years. We'll see how we continue on with subsequent years. So, okay, I'll share my screen and show you what we're doing. Okay, so this is a story map, and I modeled this. I took this template from Minnesota. So I just looked at what, and Minnesota has been doing this longer than New York, and they have a well-established, and I just modeled it after what Minnesota had done. So I'll go through these tabs and show the different bits of information about it and ask questions as you go along. So I just updated this to get ready for the 2022 in preparation for this. And so again, the contest is open to, there's for middle schools grades 4 to 8 and high school grades 9 to 12. At the state level, again, you are to select within the state 5 best ones for each of those groups, the middle and high school students, and then each winner gets $100. And so we give them a $100 Amazon gift certificate. Okay, so and that's provided by Esri as an incentive. So you get when you take on the state organization, you receive $1,000 as prizes for the winners within the state. That's a little bit of was a technical issue. I mean, I'm within CUNY, and how was I going to transfer? It's not a lot of money, but $1,000, and I did not want to get deal with CUNY's bureaucracy or Book on College specifically. With how to manage this $1,000, and I actually worked with an NGO, at the Y Lacey's, with the youth organization, with actually a former boss of mine from Globe, Dixon Butler, and so I've been using the money gets transferred to him, and then he disperses the money. So that's how I worked around it instead of trying to deal with the bureaucracy. But that's a consideration as to how you're going to deal with $1,000 that you receive from Esri. So how to get started? So from a school, so this is again from I would share, this is being shared with well, everyone, but in terms of getting us teachers interested in having their students do this. So so this gives some information as to how you know, you have to use the school's organization. I wonder if that's going to change as they move forward with their StoryMap site, if that's, I guess, still going to be a requirement, probably, because they want to get it invested, get ArcGIS online invested within the schools. But you have to go through using the account, and so here I'm just giving you information, you know, taking where they can go for teachers or schools to get school licenses and the various support. Then teachers or lead teachers within schools, I just have created a Google form document, and they fill it out and it's submitted. Once, you know, the first year that I did it, it took a little bit of time getting everything set up, but now that I have it, I just have to update it by the different years information, and it's pretty much, you know, not that much of an effort. I'm the lead person. You do need to get a group of people who are going to help you out, both in the primarily in terms of getting the word out, and that's something that we the New York State still needs to improve upon. Everyone's busy, and this is volunteer time. How to get the word out to various teachers and students in order to participate in this. So that's one way for the team participation. The main need for having a team, other than bouncing off ideas and so forth, is that when you do get the submissions, you then have to be judged. And so in the spring of the year, as you're judging who are going, you're ranking the student submissions and selecting the top 5, and then among the top 5, you are to submit the top 1 of each for middle and high schools to the to Charlie Fitzpatrick, who runs this at Esri. Anyway, so you have to, schools have to register for the participating in the competition, set the date to do this, and this is a link to the website, which actually has invaluable information about the whole mapping competition program. You can see, you learn about the results of the 2021 and previous years. And I'll show you the student winner here, which was, and these are the 2 New York ones. Yay, I got to put a hoot in again for New York, the 2 honorable mention, and for the high school. If you are, and this is all information about the rules, the eligibility, awards, judging criteria, and so forth. And they really have this well laid out in terms of providing the information, both again from the teacher's perspective, as well as a state organization team and various resources. Getting the word out, Esri can helps as well, getting the word out to through various listservs and various means as well within each of your states. Then providing, again, this is getting the competition guidelines, as to and what they are, trying to make it as easy and clear for teachers, students who are interested in this. Competition rubric, just followed. I adapted what's there from Esri to New York. Didn't really make any change. It seems like a pretty good rubric that they've established. Providing ways, you do have to, this is kind of important to get all of this information in the proper format with the teachers submitting the student work. And then you have to take this information and put it in you know, in a set way that Esri has documented. One of the challenges to make teachers and students submit their short URL, not the long, just copy and paste from the browser. You have to get that short URL, as well as another challenge is to make sure that they fill out the details page with the information and providing a URL for that. Those are some of the challenges in terms of getting the particulars, both from the teachers, you know, who are communicating with the students, is to make sure that these two parts dealing with the short URL for the story map itself, make sure it's shared with everyone. And also then providing that details page. Those two things are very important. Okay. And then here, much of the rest of the tabs here, so that's getting the particulars. What I've been showing you to now has been giving you a lot of particulars about the nuts and bolts of how to participate in the New York State competition, as well as how to participate at dates and so forth. A lot of the rest of this story map here is providing supporting information about ideas for creating a story map with for the teachers working with their students, with the geo inquiries, and each of these are clickable to, you know, a website that you can go to and learn more about it. How to choose a topic. We originally, when I did it, I had like a New York State theme. We could kind of end but I'm leaving it pretty much open this year as to what they want to use. And so choosing a topic, a lot of in this past year in 2021, we had a lot of submissions actually from New York City. There was one group, I think there was an environmental science instructor who went to various schools. So I don't know quite how it was organized, but he worked with students from different schools on environmental science projects. And so we had wonderful different projects about different aspects of New York City in the parks. We had one like on a salamander, and all sorts of really cool projects that they did. And then I always put a plug in for Globe, because I work with Globe, and as well as had worked before going to Brooklyn College on Globe, but as a way of accessing different student data sets that they might want to use if they're involved with the Globe program. Then information about how to get up and going with ArcGIS Online. This may need to be updated a bit because of the interface, as you know, is always changing. And other resources, links that are going to teach about ArcGIS Online. I'm keeping eye on time here. I think I got a few more minutes. Resources and to go. How to properly share, and that's sometimes a challenge, is, you know, this whole idea of sharing and who and all that, and using the short URL. Even with my own classes, even after I go over and over times with my students, they still don't want to give the short URL or make sure that it's shared properly. And then the items page, details page here. Let me see, I think that might be it. Help for teachers and students. This leads to another story map. So that's what we've done to advertise it out. Again, if you're in New York and want to help with the judging, since we are expanding, I've had the bulk of the responsibilities as being the state lead. But I love it too, if anyone else in New York State would love to judge these students' projects. They're a lot of fun to do, but it does, you know, and in April and the beginning of May, they're depending on how many submissions, and it you know, might take a couple of hours to do. As well, I think it's good, and I tried to, in this past one, there were two of us, to have each a submission at least viewed by two people in order to, get their different perspectives, and assess which ones are going to be the top 5 based on multiple reviews and not just one single person making the decision. And if you're a New York State teacher and you want to know more about this, let me know. Last year, what I did was offer, and we had a little bit of extra money from Esri, so I offered a virtual teacher session for New York State teachers to come and learn, and then they would get, there would be the winner. I had like $300 that I could spare. As if you participated, you would be picked from the hat, so to speak, and you would get $100 for participating in learning about the program. And in particular, what's challenging for some of what I'm finding in order to participate in the mapping competition, and teachers maybe know this already, so I apologize for my ignorance, but one of the challenges is, for instance, I worked closely with the school in New York City with the Francophone school, and it was making the teachers aware of or how to communicate with the person who is managing the site license for the school and how to get that going. So once they got that going and working, and they knew what to do, and then they learned about the details page and how to access the ArcGIS Online through the school organization, things went a lot more smoothly. But that was a hurdle for them, and they fortunately, through having this virtual session workshop, so to speak, I was able to help them get through that so that they could participate. And then one of their students won the honorable mention for the middle school, at least. So let me I think I have just a few more minutes. Let me show you the national winner for last year. His, go back here, just a quick one. What he did here, this was a Sky Lam, Bronx High School of Science. He was a remarkable student. He actually found out about this competition on his own and became very curious about a GIS. And he learned GIS on his own and created this map story. And he was mapping the Green Book in New York City. So what he did, and it's a very long one, but he was giving information about what it was like to travel as an African American during Jim Crow era, and the Green Book, giving those places in different cities around the country where it was safe to go as an African American to eat in a restaurant, to stay at a hotel. So he took all of these from the old map, the locations of these places in New York City, looked at these, where they are located historically, and then mapped them into where they are. This actually took some archival data because addresses have changed, streets have changed, the buildings might not be there anymore. So he had to do some historical analysis to identify where those places were in the 1930s or in the 1940s. The Green Book went up until the 1960s. And so he mapped all of these, did historical analysis of these. I'm just going to run through because it's quite long and detailed. It's incredible that as a high school student. And then he just immersed, he went and got historical photos of the different places in New York where they were. And then, so there's quite a few here. And again, because I'm running it through time, and I'll put in the chat the URL for this so that you can explore it on your own. And then at the end, he did some actual GIS analysis. I'll go down here. looking at them and compiling them, different demographics, hotspots or analysis, and so on, and then coming up with even some graphs at the end. I just again give you a quick thing. I won't go through. So anyway, this is a high school student, and it was incredible. I wish my undergraduate students oftentimes will do this as well as this high school student did. And I try to encourage my undergraduate students in their projects, saying, "Hey, a high school student did this. You should be able to do this as well." Anyway, I leave it at that. I encourage you in each of your own states, if you are a teacher, find out how you can get a middle or high school teacher, find out how you might be able to get your students involved with your state. If you are thinking that you would like to become part of an organization team for your state, there may be one already there. Reach out and see if you want to help or if they need help, and I'm sure they'll need some sort of help in a way, and particularly with the judging of it. And I'll put the plug out there for those of you in New York. Come and contact me, see how you can get involved in one way or the other. So if I have any questions, let me know. But that's pretty much what I wanted to share with you. Oh, great, Paula. I love it. Thank you. You're on.
We'll talk.
I see. I'll rein you in. Thank you so much. Oh, great. Thank you. Yep, Shara. Great. I'm just I'm reading the chat messages, and if you have any questions or want to share out, if you've been involved in one of these state competitions, by all means, share out.
I was just wondering if he had been working with Jinwen of Gizmo and the New York State Economic Development Corporation, because she did a green map project and she works with high school students.
Awesome. I will. So
and if not, we should put them together.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Definitely. No, I haven't been, maybe ashamed to say, been that involved with Gizmo or the New York State GIS. I'm on the listservs, but I haven't really actively participated, but maybe this is a way to get them involved, or and to get my involvement better in these organizations.
Well, I'll throw this out to you. They had been working all last year doing different kinds of maps for, Black History Month and Hispanic History Month, etc. And that map is really incredible and so much better actually than the one that they demoed. But she does do outreach with high school students, and maybe we can get her to, I want to say, be a mentor for groups doing these maps or something.
That would be awesome. Again, I was so impressed with this one student, and I think in New York, and one of the lessons maybe to share for those in other states too, it doesn't happen overnight necessarily that you're going to have a lot of submissions. Just keep at it, and the word gets around, and more submissions start coming in. Rebecca, did you have a question?
Yeah, thanks, Becky. This is great. We've chatted a lot about the map competition, and I am currently the lead in New Hampshire, and we do struggle with submissions. And I was curious, with that workshop you held, do you have a outline or syllabus, what you covered? Because we've done a couple of those and we get very low participation. I do like your idea of a little contest, but
well, to be honest, I advertise it around on some listservs, and again, maybe I'm not advertising in the right way. We only had two teachers.
That's about what we get too.
Participate, and so I really didn't have a syllabus then. I was working with them one-to-one, going through things more hands-on to find out, what difficulties or questions that they had. So I didn't. So I really don't have a syllabus to You know, even with the enticement of $100, you know, I mean, teachers are just stretched too thinly and don't have a lot of time.
The last 2 years have been very challenging with just the other stresses. And I think just as Patty,
Yeah,
I put in here, time, like finding time, you know, to. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a big issue. Here, I'm putting the link to the students. Oh, that's the long one. To that students, if you want a green book story map. But Paula, I'll definitely be following up with you more about your ideas in terms of connecting with Gizmo and other folks. Okay, and that person in particular that you mentioned. Okay, no question. Be reaching out to you. Thank you.